Killing me.
Oh, man.
Killing me, Rob. All right, let's go to the Lord. You ready over there, my love?
Wait,
You got
did you already
everything?
click this so it's recording, or do I?
No, that green will go red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everything else is recording, baby. Everything else.
Okay.
I got everything else. All you got to do is man the cameras. That's it.
Or woman the cameras.
Woman the cameras. Woman the cameras. This part of it is the easy. This is just. It actually. It's not that I'm trying to control it. It's just.
Sure, Larry.
Justify, rationalize, minimize. Jesus. Did we just talk about this Saturday morning?
All right, let's go to the Lord. Let's go to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together. Father, we thank you for everything that you've done for this show. We ask that you continue to bless the souls and get to that one person. Father, we ask that we take today's topic, we take today's discussions, and we use it for your good, for good of the sobriety, and the good of whoever can hear it. Father, we ask that you sit with us and you be with us and you hold our hearts in your name. Let's go to work. Amen.
Welcome back to Recovery Unfiltered. It's Rob and Larry in your ear again. We don't need letters before or after our names, just two drunks with a lot on our brains. Sit back, relax, let us carry the load. We've walked that dark and winding road. We're just
You're lucky the shirt stays on. I got abs popping, baby. I'm getting lean for a tournament this weekend.
Where are you
Stockton. The whole team's competing.
Oh, really?
Little kids, all the little kids on up on Saturday.
I am going to be gone. That sucks. I wish I could be there.
Someone's getting hurt.
Rob, it's been a few minutes since you competed against somebody you don't know.
Well, yeah, since Santa Cruz.
Yeah, that's been a minute.
A couple months when Jason blew out his knee.
Right. How's he doing?
Good.
Yeah,
If he stays off it, as he should.
Listen,
Yeah. No, but
I don't have a lot of room to talk on that one.
He's doing good.
Good.
Yes.
Good. You know, he called me here a while back. He was dealing with another little issue, and hopefully that got handled.
He is Team Challenge, I believe.
Oh, he did get over there.
Yeah.
Well, so Rob number 2, that's in our Monday night group. That's where his son's at.
He's in leadership now.
Okay, so he's doing very well then.
Yeah, he's in leadership.
I would love to see him again because
well, he's been back. You haven't seen him, huh?
No.
He came back, and before he came back on break, and then because he's going back to be on leadership.
Saw him about a month ago. Is that about when he came in?
He came in
was there
twice.
Okay,
Yeah.
I seen him one time, and I only got to see him just that one time. And but apparently he's doing very well.
He's doing very well.
That's awesome. I never really understood that teen challenge. I've heard people going into it.
It's 30 days dark. It's a 13-month deal. It's 30 days dark.
Yeah.
Then 12 months you're there, and you make your bed. You do chores. You work. You work. I mean, you don't make much money, but it's all about maturity. It's all about discipline. It's about responsibility. So growing up,
right?
Having these people grow up.
I mean, when I heard it says teen challenge, I thought it was for teenagers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
No.
I mean, and they may have them, but I mean, that's it's not apparently what it's for. Because when I was going into the jails, there would be a guy from the teen challenge that would go in with us about the same time, right? So, and he explained it to me, but I didn't really get into it that far. But you know what? We sounds like we need to get somebody from Teen Challenge on here.
I'll reach out to Daniel.
See if he'll come on. How far? So if he's 13 months, and he's got to be in there pretty close to 10, 11 months now of sobriety for him.
Over a year now. Because he did his 13 months.
Oh, okay.
Now he came back out to visit, and he's just hanging out. Now he's going back to be a leader. So
okay,
he's not over a year.
We need to get him in here.
Oh yeah,
absolutely get him in here. So yesterday, I'm going to try and get through this because I don't normally tear up, but I'm going to.
Bullshit.
I don't know if you notice, but I'm sure some other people notice. When you start talking your bullshit, and I call it bullshit because it's how I deal with it, of your night terrors and that kind of stuff. When you were talking about that yesterday, it made me think, not just you, but how blessed, what would have happened to me if something would have happened to you, right? The chain effect. Where would I be? Where would I have ended up? Would I have had the same
Might have. Well, God would have found a different man.
Well, and I don't know why I started thinking about that. That's why when they said for me to take it out yesterday, I said, hey, you know what? Remember your sponsors. Because, I think that sometimes we not take them for granted. I think our relationships become so very close and very tight. I think sometimes we forget that, that it's because of you guys, the sponsors, and it made me reach out to Ted yesterday, right? And reach out to all my sponsees, quite honestly, and say hi to them. I'm horrible at it, right? It's why I'm not a very good sponsor. In fact, you haven't reached out to me in a while. But wait, you're not my sponsor.
We talk, and I'm not sure you fired me. You fucking fired me on air.
You are
second greatest day of my life.
You are not my fucking sponsor, but man, when you were talking about that yesterday, I think that's the first time you told me, or first time I heard that Kurt had came over for you like that when you were going.
I've shared it before.
I never
in meetings. No, maybe you haven't heard it, but I've shared it.
Yeah, I never heard that before, and he has agreed to come on the 28th. Yeah. We're going to record on the 28th, and those will be the first part of August. We get to hear him. I am excited for that one because him and I have a mutual. He was in the trade that I'm in. He was in the fuel business for a while. He was a trader for Conoco for a while, and he had a long period of sobriety, and then he decided to go back out again, and so I'm extremely excited to get that. I'd like to have both of them, Kurt and the other one, but I don't think the other one is ready to do it.
Rob?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I think those two stories to me are an extremely valuable lesson for people, right? I think Kurt had 12 years, didn't he, when he went back out?
Well, and what makes his story interesting is he didn't. He just quit AA, and now and he was very heavily in the church, stayed with his church.
Right.
He just did the church thing, which some people may have success that way, but he did not.
Yeah, so I'm excited to hear it. So that story will be on after this one, right? This one we're recording a little bit early, so that one will be on right after that. So I'm excited to get that in here, like I said, for a couple reasons. One, I'm going to take him into my office and see if I can't get some insight on the market a little bit. Get ahead of the game a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I'm excited for that one. So we started in our Monday night group. We started working, and and I brought it in, and when I started going...
No, he didn't. He's lying. What he did, he brought it to me, and I took it to the guys as if it was my idea. I didn't drop the rock and tell them that it was Larry's idea until they all agreed. And they all agreed because I brought in, I read that story that you wanted me to read, and I put it all out there like it was... I just, hey, we guys think about it. I didn't say this is my idea. I said, hey, we guys think about this, and I read a little bit. I put the... Katie, I put the shit to him,
However you
and
want to
justify. Then after everybody agreed, man, Rod, that's a great idea. Then the next meeting, I said, by the way, this was Larry's idea. Fuck. Well, we already agreed to it, so we'll do it.
However you justify and rationalize and minimize it in your brain, however you do it, we started doing. They came to my attention, and I don't even remember how it came in. And then I started reading parts of it, and it's just, if you haven't read it yet, the Drop the Rock is an extreme in-depth study of steps 6 and 7. And I focused so much on 4 with you and with Doug when I got through, and I'm still working through 6 and 7 with Doug, right? That's where I'm at with Doug. And this came to me at that period of time to when I started, all my descent. I don't know if I should call it my descent, but started working through a lot of my stuff that we talked about 2 weeks ago. So one of the things that I've been really focused on is my character flaws, because I still have a lot, right? We were just talking prior to recording. I'm a leadfoot, man.
Louisiana, you got pulled over in Louisiana.
I'm going to tell this quick story before we get into the actual topic of it. So it was pretty cool. And Katie started talking.
Hold on, but Katie just said you got 2 tickets in the last 2 weeks.
Let's talk about the degenerate I am right now. I got 2 speeding tickets and a failure to appear right now. So that's the complete degenerate that I am right now.
Can you...
I'm going to elaborate.
No. The failure to appear is for jury duty, not because you had some other tickets.
Come on. I was trying to act tough over here. I was trying
to. Come and take him.
He's a lawbreaker.
Lawbreaker, heart taker. So I was going. Here's the the Louisiana one. All right, so I don't even remember. It was 2016. My nephew Zach and I were in Louisiana. He wanted to go to duck hunting with me in Louisiana. So, and he also wanted to fly into New Orleans, and he wanted to go to Bourbon Street. So him and I flew in, and well, guess what? I was still an alcoholic at the time, and me and my nephew, we toured Bourbon Street and got pretty trashed.
Got bourboned
up, and we came back to the hotel room about 4. Well, I did. I really don't know what time he stumbled back in. He was a single man at the time, and I about 6 o'clock I got up, still bourboned up. He did stumble back in somewhere in that 2-hour period, and we got in the car and we started driving down to towards Ville Platte, where we were. So we're flying down the highway, and obviously I'm starting to come down a little bit. I was like, man, it's about time for a beer. Zach agreed the same thing. So we pull in there, and her dad, Katie's dad, was with us. I don't know what he was doing. There was no voice of reason from him whatsoever with me and Zach. He was just on along for the ride, and he's sitting in back, and we jump out, we go in, and we pull us a couple. We got a little 6-pack, and we finished. We drank 3 and got normal. And get off on the freeway. And as soon as I get off on the freeway, this cop pulls me over. And the empty bottles are like right in between us, right in between the two of us. And he pulls us over, and I'm like, I am going to jail in Louisiana. And the cop comes up beside me. Zach, I think, kind of pulled him back or something. I don't know. And that cop gave me a speeding ticket for doing like 85 or something like that. Never said a word about anything else, right? So we got out of it. Boom, on we went. Well, so I even got out of that speeding ticket, by the way. I don't want to go into that story. So let's fast forward 10 years later, 2026, right? Katie and I were just there for a wedding, and I'm going down to visit my same buddy that I was duck hunting with. And we're going, and and I get this phone call from the guy I've been helping in Reno. So here I am on the phone 10 years later from being drunk, right? When I should have went to jail. 10 years later, I'm on the phone helping a guy walk through. He was struggling, wanting to drink, and he's just gotten out, and I'm helping him.
You're doing some 12-step work.
I'm doing some 12-step work, going through a little town called Fenton, Louisiana, and apparently, if you Google that, it's the highest rated speeding tickets in Louisiana. And I'm speeding, doing 72 and a 35 flying through. I got pulled over, and I pull over in front of the police station, right? I didn't even notice I did that. And when the guy came up, he's like, what the hell was the hurry? And I'm like, I honestly didn't even realize I'd even entered into a city limit. I didn't even realize it. And so Katie and I took off, and it took me a little bit to realize how ironic it was that the 2 times I've gotten pulled over in Louisiana, one completely shit-faced drunk that I should have went to jail. 10 years later, I'm helping a man in AA. It was pretty cool. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Then just the other day, I'm doing 91 down I-8, headed into Yuma, Arizona. I was about 10 miles before the Arizona border.
They got you.
They got me again. So 2 tickets. I'm running from the law, baby. I'm running from the law.
We got to do some step work on that shit. But Doug, you got some step work to do on his character defect of speeding.
The
no patience.
The problem. It's not even. So let's take a look at the one the one in Louisiana. I was on the phone and completely distracted. Right. The one here in California, on the phone, completely distracted. The one in Louisiana, I was in no hurry to go anywhere whatsoever. No, I had no time schedule, no nothing. The one in Yuma, I was on my way to my hotel room with my dinner already in my vehicle. I wasn't late for nothing but the bed and the TV because there was nothing. Why I was doing that much over the speed limit is just absolutely just not paying attention, just completely.
What saves me, cruise control. When I'm on the freeway, I drive because if you don't drive, they'll run you out. But my problem was because they're in the company vehicle with the cameras and everything, they monitor everything.
Oh yeah.
So when I get off the freeway, I used to drive like I was still on it. But now, I'll get about 4 miles above the speed limit, cruise. Old ladies will pass you, flip you off.
Yeah.
just cruise,
It's
and
so,
it saves me.
Yeah, it's so. I need. Apparently, I need to start doing it even on the freeway. When I left Yuma that day and went back to San Diego to get, I literally set the cruise control for 70 miles an hour, and I was bored out of my ever-loving mind. I was bored. I'm like,
It's tough.
It's so slow. It's so slow, especially when you're in the desert and there's nothing around you.
Like driving through Nevada.
Nothing. And it's like, it feels like you're doing 5 miles an hour. It's going nowhere. Anyways, speaking of bad habits, so going back to what I was talking about, I'm going to dig in the difference between character flaws, right, and bad habits. I mean, that's one of the things I really want to talk about today, because when I started working through a lot of this stuff that I've kind of been, dealing with, fighting with, it's like, what is the difference? Because you hear people say, well, that, you got some character flaws. Well, is it
character defects?
Character defects.
Or shortcomings, which are the same thing as far as the book is concerned.
Right. And it says that, just like you guys say, Bill never liked to repeat himself, so he said it different ways. But
a bad habit, isn't that something different?
It is, right? It is. So,
but what happens if a bad habit causes you to have a character flaw?
So then we're going to dig into this, right?
What if your bad habits?
I got a bad habit. Trust me.
Katie, what if your bad habit, say of chewing tobacco, causes your body not to fuse bone? So now, or if you don't have a dip,
lesson learned.
or if you don't have a dip, you don't have that bad habit, right? Then you're short of your temper's short.
The character flaw.
It says it takes a bad habit and makes a character flaw out of it.
Where's the character flaw?
Short-tempered, snapping at others. There's a character flaw.
Where have I been short-tempered?
Okay, now if he doesn't have, if we didn't have a dip in our
starting the process with you. You didn't stop chewing until you absolutely had to.
I had to chew as I was walking into the hospital.
I know, but I mean, and the sad part is, and admittedly so, I probably need to walk some steps because I think I got some trauma from this.
Yeah.
And I'm not lying. It's trauma because how his goatee sits, the hair, at some angles, it will look like
you walk up to him, grab that, pull his lip down,
and I have him show me his lip more than I like to admit.
She's had more PTSD from my Copenhagen than she ever did my alcohol.
Honestly, it's probably not. It's probably not a lie, but I also think I suffer because I don't want him to be in pain, and I don't want him to go through like everything that he's gone through either. So
okay, but I can ask you a question because here I want to play devil's advocate a little bit because I'm sure, I guarantee it's that. However,
I don't have it.
And I probably shouldn't have brought this up, but probably should have said it because at the end of the week, a lot of hours. Friday, I didn't have anything to eat, so I just took fruit. And so my Bonnie's like, "You want me to?" She kept calling, "Want me to bring you something?" And I go, "I don't want this fixed." I was just venting. Hey, I'm just don't fix it. Well, I don't want you to be hungry. I said, "You don't want me to be hungry. You don't want me to come home in a bad mood." It's because it's easier on you if I don't do that. Which one is it? And you know which one it is. Yeah. What's your motive?
She didn't want you to come home in a bad mood.
Right. Which is fine. I get that, but don't play it off as if you're doing it for me when when your motive is not that.
You're big on those motives. I catch myself, and you're right.
Because that's the only thing that matters. Right. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's all God. That's what God cares about.
I agree with you. I mean, I use it all the time. It's like,
because I used to do all the right things for all the wrong reasons. What's the point?
Right.
There's no point.
Right. And you know what? And it's like what we were just talking about when we were walking in here. Katie, we're getting ready to take off camping again. We got the motorhome here, and we're getting it all cleaned up. Katie was like, "We got to get the sheets and get them cleaned up off the motorhome." I'm like, "Well, they're already folded and put away, whether we washed them last time." She's like, "It doesn't matter." I'm like, "Well, why are you putting pressure on yourself to do more?" I don't understand.
Because I like them fresh sheets.
Okay. So I brought them in. So I walked through this morning as I was putting some of the show notes together, and because when we do topics, I like to make sure that we have a rolling flow. We're not trying to make up stuff as we go along. So one of my biggest habits that creates resentments, right? That's you and I have spoke about that. Some habits that create resentments, and I thought about that this morning. And one of my worst habits to me is I wake up extremely early.
Okay, so why is that a bad habit?
So let me go in here a little bit further, right? I'm asleep early, and I go to bed and I'm up early. So what happens a lot of time during the week, that's fine, right? That's when I'm working, but during the week. But let's look at Saturday and Sunday, right? Especially Sundays. Sundays are the worst for me. So when I wake up early, Katie stays in bed probably for a good 3 hours after me, right? So for me, I'm all alone. I have resentments. I'd rather be somebody sitting there with me talking, kind of have it. Yes, shut up. I see your little fucking smirk over there, you little fucker. And so that's, God damn it. So, and then let's take it on the other side of that, right? Okay. So by the time Katie gets up and gets moving around, she comes out, we're sitting outside in the back patio. She comes out to have a cup of coffee. I'm done. I'm ready to go to work, right? So therein lies Katie's resentment. Maybe not. Maybe she don't give a shit. But now,
Katie, do you give a shit? I can ask her right here.
I do, but I'm not wired to go to sleep at 9 o'clock. I mean, I'm like 11:30. So if I sleep until 7:30, he's already been up for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got, it's that trucker in him.
Yeah.
That's just never been taken out.
I'm up early.
Yeah, I can't get rid of it.
It's about the same for you, though. You get up really early as well.
Yeah, but you sleep in on the weekends.
A little bit. I slept in like 7 today.
4:30, my brain.
Church is 8:45 to 8:45 to 9:30. I slept until 7, got up.
4:30, my brain was wide awake.
But then again, I stayed up. We watched the fights last night. Me and Logan.
I was awake. I was up till 9:30 last night. I was up to. It wasn't like I try to stay up. I go to bed early Friday for Saturday morning meetings, right? Well, a normal time. Then Friday nights, I try to stay up as late as I can for Katie to try and sleep in and try and get a day on her schedule. My bad habit is and the reason why I'm saying this is we're going to wrap it all back around, because when we read the difference between bad habits and character flaws, you can fix bad habits, right? You can change bad habits by practicing different tactics and doing different things. Character flaws are a habit is generally something you do can often change through awareness receptions, right? So a character flaw is a deeper, unhealthy attitude, belief, or way of responding that influences many behaviors: pride, selfishness, dishonesty, fear, resentment, envy, control, self-pity. A flaw is more about who you're being than what you're doing. So, when you start
the roots,
that's literally. So, if you think about that, the flaws and the character defects. The character defects are the root of the tree, and the habits are the leaves.
So, would you call procrastination bad? Because that's something I do.
It's a horrible habit. It's a horrible habit.
Would you call that a character flaw, though? A character defect?
No, I don't call that.
Okay, so what would be the character defect?
The character
that leads to that bad habit.
Fear. Depends on what it is. Some people procrastinate because they're afraid of the outcome. Some people don't want to just rip off the Band-Aid because they're fear of the pain, so they don't rip it off, so they procrastinate. I guess that's one bad habit, but not all bad habits lead to a character flaw. That's one of the biggest things where I kind of come to a realization is not all
Give me
bad
example.
habits. Well, okay, my Copenhagen. What character?
You don't choose Copenhagen no more. Well,
let's just go back to what I was just talking about. When I wake up early, what is that? What character flaw in me?
I don't think waking up early necessarily is a character flaw.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it's a bad habit.
I don't think it's a bad habit either.
It is if you want. Well, okay. I think that's it's going.
It just is. It's just something you do.
But I look at it as a habit because I do it every day. A habit is something that is repetitive.
But a habit can be a good thing too.
You can.
Could into good
working
habits.
Out, yeah. If you're working out, you created habits. And
Yes.
they say if you do something for 21 days in a row, it's going to create a habit. Problem for me is I can't sleep in past 4:30 21 days in a row. A perspective steps 4 through 7 help us identify the underlying effects, right? Example, behavior, yelling at a spouse, possibly pride, fear, control, right?
This one.
What?
My worst character defect. I don't know if it's a bad habit or character defect. It's a bad habit. But it only happens to my wife. Interrupting.
Oh,
I'll finish what she says. And then she'll look at me. Okay, I was done talking. I guess I was done talking, Rob. And I'm terrible. I've really got to make a minute when she starts talking. I pinch myself, make myself listen. I don't do that with everybody, but I really do it bad with my wife. Terrible.
Here's
that?
my yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Here's my justification.
Oh,
right?
you're going to tell me why you do it.
Here's me justifying it, rationalizing it, minimizing it. I do the same thing with anybody that I'm extremely close to, because when you're like Katie and I, what? Shut up, woman. So
You must be close to a lot of fucking people.
fuck you. Do you remember you telling me to shut up in the last podcast?
Yeah.
Fuck that fucking cracked me up. That was freaking funny.
I did not say shut up. I said, I'm talking. I was very polite.
And if you missed that in last week's episode, go back and listen, because it was classic. You could hear me laughing in the background. It was funny, but I interrupt people all the time, and the reason why, and I catch myself doing it now. I catch myself doing it because in my brain, I want to go from A to B in the shortest amount of time as possible. Because what is my job? My job is efficiency, getting everything to run faster and to smoother, to where if it runs faster and smoother, it's more efficient, we're going to make more money. That's literally what my job comes down to. And when I can think that I'm going to see somebody's end game, I just jump to it. I just go to the end of it. Why mess around with the rest of it? One of the salesmen calls me. He's like, Larry, you can end a meeting quicker than anybody I've ever seen. And I go,
you can end a podcast the same way.
Yeah.
Oh
my ADD showed up. Gotta go. We're done. I'm done.
but you know what?
The guest is right in the middle of burying their parent and how it's devastated them. Larry's
like, that was great.
That's good. I'm done. We gotta go.
Hey, the artist sell. When you get what you want, walk out the door. Boom. Sign it. Go. Stop fucking talking about it. I'm just horrible about it. And listen, and isn't the first, you got to admit the problem in order to get there. Right? Step one, baby. I know I'm bad.
But I believe behind every bad habit is a character flaw or character defect. Absolutely. If we dig down to it, you can absolutely find it.
Tell me one of your bad habits that results back to a character flaw.
Cutting people off, interrupting my wife.
What's the character flaw?
One, lack of patience. Two, pride and ego. I know where we're going. I know this is going here. Stop. And I'll finish your sentence because I know which is in my way. I don't realize it. Letting you know, okay, I know where you're going. There's no need to go down this 5-minute rabbit hole. Here we go. Let's,
same thing I said.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
But it's it's a character flaw. She needs to say it, and I need to let her get it out.
Yeah, it's horrible
because it's rude.
The other day we're in
rudeness and a lack of and unloving.
It really is. And it's rude
and disrespectful.
And are you going to continue to interrupt me right
yes.
now? Yes. You motherfucker.
I was waiting for you to get the point. Jesus, it took 3 of them.
I was in a meeting, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and it was with one of the owners, the salesman, and the customer. And the owner, the customer, and the salesman were going back and forth, round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And I'm sitting there, and I've got 19 billion other things on my brain that I want to be getting done. End of the day, I literally sat there for about 35, 45 minutes. And I finally stood up. I sat forward at the desk or at the table, and I finally looked at the customer. I go, "What exactly do you want?" And he spit out about 5 things that he needed to finish this contract up, and I wrote it down. I looked at it and I go, "Done." And I walked out the door. And those two sat in there for another 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Let me make sure I'm not a complete total fucking monster. I said, I think that's not going to be a problem. We're going to be able to handle that. I got some other stuff I really need to get to. And I left. So they sat in there for another 35, 45 minutes. Well, the owner came out and he comes into my office and he's like, "Did you crack me up?" He goes, "That was a 5-minute meeting for you." And I go, "It was. I don't know what was taking you guys so long." And he's like, I go, "What did you guys talk about after I left?" And he goes, "The same shit that you've already got written down." I go, "Thank you." I mean, I don't know, and when I was actively selling, I wasn't like that. I just wasn't like that. But in the position I'm in now, I don't need to do all that shit. Just tell me what you want. I'll make it happen. I'll fix it. I'll get it going. I don't know, But
again, that's also an asset sometimes, especially in our line of work, in our industry.
Right.
You got to go. I mean, my bosses joke, and that ain't lie. They have emails about meetings and meetings about emails, and there's just and I sometimes I get to hear these. I'll be in my office listening to I'm talking with the owner and my boss and all the other managing heads, and then I'll come in and he'll look at me and my eyes will be crossed like, how the fuck do you have to? I mean, I don't
have meetings to talk about meetings.
Yeah, but meanwhile, I'm the one, me and the foreman, are the ones getting shit done. You know, that's why I tell them, listen, you get to, we don't mind now. I mean, I wish my foreman could listen to all that. Right. We don't want none of that. Right. Stay off our fucking ass. We're getting it done. We'll make you look good, but quit bringing some of that to us and just making us jump through so many hoops. We know what we're doing. But sometimes that's an asset. Cut out the bullshit. Just too much, you're just wasting time.
So, yeah, I don't, like I said, but like 4 days later when I was in, so when I get into sales mode, I was when I was in Imperial last week in 114-degree weather in Coachella. We were visiting customers. It was what I was doing that day. I had no problem spending an hour and 40, hour and whatever it was because I was in that mode, right? But so, anyways, so you asked a couple questions. Are we managing behaviors instead of changing our hearts? That's one of them. Which is harder to change, a habit or a character flaw?
Character flaw. I can't change my character flaws apparently.
You can.
No, I can't.
You can turn them over to God.
There you go. Which means I can't do it. He can, I can't. I will let him.
But what you said right there lies the problem.
Correct.
The problem is that middle person, I will let him. That's the part that we've talked about.
We all everybody struggles with that. But because I don't trust that he's going to fix it or change it to the way I want him to.
In the manner I want it to be. Right.
Is it going to be comfortable? I don't want to hurt. Is it going to end up over here? And we want to know that we want to know the end before, which means I don't trust you, which means I have no faith in you. Let's be honest.
True fact.
That's what God, I don't trust you.
True fact.
So I'm not going to give you this right now.
The most amazing feeling I had when we talked about this and that, an episode prior to this, one of the most amazing feelings I had in Mississippi, and I've felt this before in Louisiana, is I'm fighting with so much that when I can feel him release tension from me, and I can feel that easiness and that peace come into me over certain things that I'm working through. But 2 hours later, grabbing that back and feeling that, it's like what transitions through your brain?
But what your problem is, our problem, where you are is great, because Larry, a year ago, 2 years ago, you wouldn't have had that two hours of peace. You'd have taken that shit back in 15 minutes. Oh, yeah. Now, Larry, in a couple of years, you might get 4 hours of peace out of that. You might get a whole day out of that. It's progress, spiritual progress. That's what we're supposed to be making. And you are.
I feel I am. I think, and that's what I was. We've talked about this multiple times.
Why does God let good things happen to bad, or bad things happen to good people? I mean, we'll never know. Well, yeah, we do. We absolutely know. Number one, who's good?
God.
Go show me a good person.
Oh, no.
And then let me do their inventory. Yeah, Two, why do good things or why do bad things happen to good people, or why does God allow those things? For our growth, right? When do we grow? When will we surrender anything?
In the valleys.
When we're in enough pain to.
Right.
He's been wanting to pluck this out of you for how long, Larry? But you won't give it to him.
Oh no.
So he's going to allow you to go through what you need to go through. Hey, Lord, here, take what's killing me, because I'm not willing to give it up willingly, and that because we're children, selfish, fearful children.
Okay, I'm going to move on.
Move on.
Not move on. I'm going to go into a different area that I have. So this morning so I've been doing a lot of writing, a lot of reading. I mean, Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now that, that book. Jason's been talking about. Amazing. I actually started listening to it because I'm in the middle of 3 other books and I just don't have time. So I've started listening to it. I suggest you don't listen to it driving down the road, because Eckhart Tolle's voice is extremely soothing and will melt you into.
Is it his voice, or is it?
Yes.
Or is it just someone narrating his stuff?
No, it's him.
Cool.
It's him, and it's very soothing and it's very relaxing, and and I've enjoyed it. And I asked Jason this too. I said, if you listen to it on the audiobook, there's a guy that in there asks him questions and goes deeper into stuff that Eckhart's talking about. And I asked Jason, I go, does the book follow that same way? And he's like, I don't know. He'd have to check. I don't know. But it is fun to listen to. It's an amazing book. Anyway, so I've been reading, Because, and this morning, I'm a very judgmental person. All right. I'm coming back to this.
Do you make judgments or you pass judgment? Which way? What are you talking about?
I'm going to be careful how I answer that question. You know, I talked about this a couple episodes ago when I was working through some of my stuff. It's, if you're on unless you're an older person, if you're a young, vibrant person like you or I's age, to me, we're still a young, vibrant person. If you're just walking along in a cane with no visual defects to you whatsoever, I'm judging.
You're passing judgment.
I'm passing judgment. I'm bad. Hence the reason why I refuse to use the cane. I refuse to use the crutch.
Because you don't want to be a hypocrite.
Yes, because there's nothing visibly wrong with me. There's nothing visibly wrong with me. Therefore, I don't want to use the things that are going to support me. I don't. If my leg was all in cast, this goes all the way back to high school. When I had a broken femur, I mean, I had a compound fracture in my left leg. You couldn't, when I finally ended up going back I was supposed to be on crutches for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something like that. I was walking without crutches when I went back to school a month later, or a month and a half later, whenever I was going back to school, because I had no I didn't like being on crutches. So I learned how to walk, learned how to tough through it. Anyways,
which is not good. It's not good for healing.
No, it's more than likely the reason why I had to have
I guarantee
hip replacement so early. But anyway, so I go back and I look at this. And I'm speaking about me. I'm going to try and keep this as much
judgmental motherfucker.
I am. It goes back to I always forget where it came from, so I had to look it up. It's Matthew 7:3-5. It teaches us to remove the plank from our own eye before focusing on the speck in your brother's eye.
Hold on.
Right. Yep.
Now, in that passage, Jesus is not telling us not to make a judgment. He's telling us not to pass judgment, which is a big difference. He doesn't say don't help your brother. He's saying making sure you're not a hypocrite, walking in the same manner so that you can help your brother. He does not say, at the end it says, first clean your side of the street, son. Yes. Then you can go help your brother. He doesn't say don't go help your brother.
No.
And then pick the speck out. He's saying don't be a hypocrite. Don't judge hypocritically. But we are absolutely to make judgments. That's what he's saying. But we are never to pass judgment.
Never.
That's what you've been doing. When you see the dude with the cane, there ain't nothing wrong with you, you lazy mother. Yeah, but that's passing judgment. That's God's job.
So, yes.
Because he knows the heart, we don't.
So, and this is, like I said, working through this, then I start thinking to myself, am I doing this to people's so if I'm doing it to physical things, am I doing this to people's emotional things as well?
Oh,
right?
so maybe.
So, and because, why does this come up? Why is this bothering you, Larry? And I started working through this today, and it's like, if I'm passing judgment on people's in their emotional states, how they're saying, who we're talking to, and I am judging them based on my character flaws and my defects of what's wrong with me.
Well, and also, you don't know their heart. You don't know the whole story.
What I'm doing is I'm comparing them to me. What do we say in AA? Don't look for the similarities.
Look for similarities, not the differences.
Not the differences. Look for the similarities. And I am still at a point in my sobriety where I am still going, I'm not like you. I'm not like you. I'm not like you.
But what you're also saying is, in your own way, I'm better.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm better.
Yep.
That's what you're really saying.
Yes.
And what solved this for me years ago was we've talked about on the podcast when Jay did that little exercise on a Saturday morning when we all wrote down on that piece of paper. There was 14 of us. We wrote down a piece of paper. We're really struggling. What's our greatest struggle right now? And you throw it down, make a little circle, and you grab up someone else's, and you look and in this one moment, it's a hypothetical game. In this one moment, you could actually ask God, okay, I can give this up and take what I'm getting ready to read, or I can go back and walk with what I've got. Yeah. And the one I picked up was prostate cancer.
No.
Oop, I don't know who's walking with that, motherfucker. You can have that back. I'll take back my athlete's foot or whatever, whatever I was struggling with at that time. I can't even remember. That's how important it was.
Throat cancer at that time.
No, but you don't know what people are walking with. Again, that doesn't mean get everybody a free fucking pass either. No. However, but it means grace first. Grace first.
Thank you. And that is, and where does this all go back to where I originally started this as? Because I am trying to work through some stuff with me. And if I'm constantly looking at other people and their faults that they're having, and I'm passing judgment based on things I'm hearing, things I'm seeing. You know, I was sitting I spent a lot of time in the airport, and I was sitting in.
Oh shit! Airport at Greyhound station is a great place to sit and watch people.
Dude, I was sitting in San Diego, and I was sitting there watching people, and I'm thinking, and I caught myself doing this as people were. I caught myself judging people as I were walking through, as they were talking, where they were going. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my brain? What am I doing? I've got 19 million things going on at work, and I'm sitting here fucking worried about where people are going, what they're doing, what they're walking, what?
Go ahead.
No,
I did it the other day, yesterday. Okay, Katie, you're gonna. But I caught myself. Okay, you're in Walmart. No, I'm sorry, Walgreens. In Walgreens, get a pick up prescription, right? And in walks a woman who probably shouldn't be wearing what she's wearing. You see her little cheeky rolls on her big. She's a heavy woman, not a pretty woman. Oh, okay, and right above her ass cheek, where it shouldn't be showing, it says, remember that old coffee commercial, Taster's Choice?
Yeah.
That's what it said, Taster's Choice. And okay, and I went to I did make judgment, and Bonnie saw it, and she told me about it. But I did like. So are you saying that your ass is more flavorful than the front side? Is that what you're saying? It's terrible, terrible thinking. But I don't. But
interesting choice to put back,
isn't it? But here's the thing: used to, that would stay inside me, and I just, God bless her and change me. Now, for some reason, shit comes out
because they tell us not to leave it in.
Yeah, it just comes out.
That's old age.
Taster's choice, and buddy, let me tell you, maybe there was a time. I can't see it, because you can back age people and say, one day I bet you she was a looker, back in her time. No, fuck no.
You didn't see anything in her timeline?
No, she looked like that mule. Taster's choice, man. That was a drunk tattoo.
So you were passing.
I know I did. I absolutely did, and that's wrong. But I rarely.
She lose a bet.
Huh? That's one thing. She lost a bet. I didn't have the guts. My wife wouldn't let me ask her.
That's so funny.
I'm surprised Bonnie did it.
No kidding. I'm surprised.
We're like reversed. Hormones.
Love you, Bonnie. We miss you. We haven't had you on here in a little while.
I got a question.
Hit me.
Because you brought up scripture, so I'm going to bring up scripture. In the Bible, it says, if you read such things, Jesus says, if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It's better you enter the kingdom of heaven than enter hell with two hands. Right. If your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out.
Pluck it out.
It's better you for enter the kingdom of heaven blind or with one eye than it is to enter hell, fully. What is he saying? Is he saying get rid of a character defect or a character flaw or a bad habit or all the above?
I would say all the above.
I would say so.
All the above.
So how important is it to not parse these things out, but let's... So what is it? So if your Copenhagen has caused you to sin, well, fuck, how can Copenhagen cause me to sin? I don't slap my wife around if I don't have it. I don't kick the dog.
So you can say the same thing as alcohol.
You could. Well, but it did cause me to sin.
Yes. No, for sure. I mean... Yeah,
but don't think I didn't use that passage to defend my drinking.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Oh, you bet your ass I did, but I was completely wrong. So and what does God tell us? What extremes are we to go to get rid of these things?
Cut off our hand.
Why? To do what? To make us better, or just so we don't go to hell? And what is his real point? What is it? Well, on top of page 77, what's our goal? What's our real purpose? Big book.
Are you really trying to get me to memorize stuff?
Our real purpose is to be of maximum service to God and the people about us. If our right hand's causing us is a shortcoming, get rid of it. So we don't have that anymore. We can be of better service to God and to make us whole. He has cut something off to make you whole. Isn't that ironic?
Let's use that analogy right there.
Yeah.
What you just said. If you're going to cut off your right hand, if my right hand's the one doing all the sinning, and they say cut it off, where's the conflict comes is in how am I going to do what I do with my left hand? Is my left hand going to be as good as my right hand was? How am I going to change everything and get it to my left hand? And therein lies the conflict.
I'm going to need my right.
I'm going to keep my right hand. I'm not cutting it off because I don't know what my left hand.
Despite what you say, God, I'm not doing it.
No, my left hand.
Because I don't trust you to strengthen my left hand up, or to replace my right hand with something better.
There you go.
That's what it boils down to.
We're the smartest people.
No. We just make a lot of mistakes and we're willing to look at them. That's all.
What are some tools? What are some tools that I I literally want, what are some tools that I can use to help with some of these character defects? Look for recurring patterns, examples. Why do I keep having the same arguments?
Yeah.
Why do I keep having the same fucking argument over and over and over again? If I ran into 3 or more assholes in the day, more than likely I'm the asshole.
Look in the mirror.
Right? Why do I always feel disrespected? I don't know. I mean, you know, that's a character.
Let me ask you, how much of these things, you know, if you smelt it, you dealt it kind of deal?
For sure.
If you recognize it in another, don't you possess it as well?
This is what I'm saying. If I'm feeling disrespected all the time, it's because I'm probably disrespecting somebody. More than likely, I'm doing.
Or maybe not straight disrespecting someone. Maybe not showing them the proper respect.
Okay.
Maybe not giving. You know, you're not just straight out.
Right.
But you're not giving them all. You know.
I agree with that. Yeah, why do I always feel this? Why do I keep changing jobs and relationships? That's one of those things where people just keep changing and they don't want to accept the things that they have. There's maybe flaws that they keeps changing job, trying to find something better and better and better that suits them instead of changing something inside them for the job to suit the job. Right?
And when do we come to a point where we overthinking this bullshit?
All the time. I'm overthinking it right now. And this is what I'm going back to what I originally was talking about. I'm overthinking all this shit. I'm really overthinking.
Why are you doing that?
You know why? I don't.
I know why I do it. I know why I used to do it.
I don't know.
Because I made so many mistakes.
Right.
I didn't want it. My wife was early sobriety. You're so indecisive. We're just going to go eat. Where do you want to eat? I don't care. You know, and in my mind, I really don't care. But after doing my first real inventory in early sobriety, look at all the mistakes I make. I don't want to make any more. So if I don't make a decision, you won't make one.
A mistake.
But which is a mistake.
Right.
Make it. But again, that's growth.
And I think we talked about this a little bit.
I'm not decisive anymore. I looked at that woman's ass. My wife put her hand on my mouth because she knew something was coming out. Are you a coffee drinker, honey? What's wrong with Folgers Crystals? Come on. Maxwell House, good to the last drop. Anything's better than that. I can't work like this.
Oh, my God. So, Andy, when I was putting these notes together, that's literally what you just said is what came across my brain. It caused me to back off of this because I have just been...
But it's better I would rather have someone overthink than to not think.
So it goes back to what we were talking about with James last week is we beat stuff up so much. And as we go through seasons, for me, I'm in my 5th year. I've celebrated my 4th. I'm starting on my 5th. And when does everything start, and I'll never forget one of the most Jason Ryan, when I first met Jason, I would think I was probably about a year into it. Jason was right around 3, right around there. And when Jason hit his 5-year mark, I heard him say, I'm in that 5 to 7 year mark. And that's the first time I'd heard it in the rooms of AA. First time I'd heard it. And I think that was one of those things that I'm like, okay, have I dug deep enough? Am I in the right spot? Am I going to last these next 3 or 4 years? Is this 5 to 7 years thing? Is it going to hit me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just running this shit through my fucking head. And as I said to James, as we go through these seasons, and as we go through these seasons, those valleys get shorter and shorter. I went from seasons to valley.
No, but it's like the waves, because when early sobriety is like this, as you stay sober, it should be like this. It doesn't mean that they don't stop. We handle them better. Right. They're still there.
And that's what I was saying. And, instead of the seasons, you can call it waves or call it whatever you want. In the early years, early on in sobriety, we do those big, big things. But as you like the 15 years you're at and the 20s and, Rodney yesterday and Steve and those guys that are talking the way they're talking with the 15 and 20 and 30 years of sobriety and you got down there with 40 some years of sobriety.
42. But look
at him struggling, man.
Because he's getting ready to lose his mother.
No. That's not why he was struggling.
No, he was pissed off at the doctors.
Pissed. He's had some anger. And then
but what does it boil down to? Because he wants as much time with his mother as he can get because, he lost his dad. You only get so, and then he sees them as short in that time. And he's pissed off.
Yeah.
But I get it.
But it gives me relief. I don't, it's not that it didn't give me relief to see him anger. That's not what that's not.
No, I know what it gives you relief. He's 42 years sober and he's still working on things, but nothing to do with alcohol.
Nope.
Everything to do with being a better man, a better son, just better.
And it's just, so
And he knows to come dump that shit on us. So when he goes back to the hospital, he ain't dumping it on the doctor. He ain't dumping it on his mother. He gives it to us. He goes back free.
He was on
strengthened.
He was on his way to pick some stuff up, and he thought, nope, I need to go to a meeting.
Yeah.
So he had to get some stuff out. So yeah, I know it just gave me some.
But that's spiritual maturity. You know what you need.
Yeah.
Here's an example. There's a brother of ours. Last week, he didn't. I'm working. We're working again. He's going through some shit, self-imposed shit. But he's going through it. So he did not go to the Saturday meeting. Slept in. I'm sorry. Yeah, didn't go to Saturday. Didn't go to church on Sunday because he was going to do something with one of his kids. They planned on doing something. Well, he wanted to just do it now, which you could have done after church. Church is from 8:45 to 9:30. You chose that, then sleep. Didn't come to Monday night because you were going to go do something else. Tuesday, he was just growling. I was like, well, let's figure out why you're, Rob, I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's figure out what's going on there, buddy. You put God second Saturday morning. Didn't come get your medicine and or come to help anybody because you want to sleep. You chose sleep over God, over your spiritual fitness. Sunday, you did the same thing, but you justified it by watching movies with your daughter. So you put God second or third again. Monday, you didn't show up again because you had something you're going to make the meeting late. You don't like to go to meetings late. You're making an excuse. See, there was 3 opportunities to strengthen your spirituality. You chose other than God, other than that, and now you're wondering Tuesday morning why you're fucking growling.
Right.
And he didn't like that. That pissed him off. But I'll call you back. Okay, I'll talk to you in a minute.
But he didn't choose himself.
Right. Well, in his mind, he did. He chose the easier, softer way, and here's the results of your decisions.
And you know what? And it's so easy to
guess where he was at this week.
Where?
Saturday, church, and I guarantee he'll be there tomorrow.
Hey, I can't wait to hear who you're talking about, but I think I know. Hey, but how easy it is.
I said the same thing to my son.
Did you?
Whose life's going great. He's doing fantastic. I asked him last night, hey, son, you haven't been, all the men at church have been asking, how you doing? You want me to wake you up? No, Dad, it's the only day I get to sleep in. I got to go back out because he's been working out of town.
Been working still ready.
Then I shared with him that story about my buddy.
Right.
So and I go, not that you're going through anything now, but there's going to come a time you're going to something's going to hit you. And you're going to reach out to God. Well, where you been? You've been putting me second, third, and fourth, but now you want me. Anyway, I'm just saying.
No, but once again, going all the way back to wrap this all around, I finally came to the realization that I was giving very little of what I used to be giving to my morning studies, my morning meditations, and why? Because I was in pain. I was blah, 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 all fucking blah, right? Mm-hmm. You know what? And it comes down to bottom line is if you want a reaction, you have to have an action, right? Because if you do no action,
Newton's love.
Yeah, if you do no action, nothing's gonna fucking happen.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes, right? So if you want change, you got to take some action, right?
And then if you're not taking action, what's our pet peeve? Don't tell me you want change because you don't, because your actions are telling me what exactly you want.
Right.
Someone says, man, I want what you guys got. Like our buddy who doesn't ever show up. Right. I want what he said the other day at church, man, I really want what you got. I said, no, you don't, motherfucker.
Or you'd be there.
You want what you've got.
If you want.
Because you keep doing what you're doing.
Or he'd put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me sitting, trying to figure out what is my bad habits, and one of my character flaws, I was overthinking the fuck out of it. Just overthinking the fuck out of it.
Which we do, but that's better than not thinking.
Yes, and I agree with you, Rob. I don't disagree with that. I sent an email out. I'm having to deal with a contract right now, and I sent an email out the other day. I was beating the shit out of it, going upside down, one down the other one. I finally sent out an email trying to get other people's opinion on it, and nobody ever responded. I sent it to two or three guys inside the company trying to get just their opinion on it. And the owner calls me up. And we were talking about something else. I go, hey, by the way, thanks for responding to that email the other day. He goes, for what? You're going to fucking do whatever you want to do anyways. I'm like, oh, you're probably right. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know why I overthink shit. And my instincts are normally, it's not really the instincts. It's what's making me, I feel right. It feels good. That just feels the right way to go.
But you're still, you're reaching out. You're changing a little bit.
Yes.
Even though you're going to do what you're going to do, sending the emails is something different. Keep doing it.
Right.
Keep doing it.
You know, and I'll tell you another good story, and it just reminds me of this. And I said it yesterday. And this, our good friend. I'm going to end with this one. Our good friend, and I'm not going to say because I tried to get him on the show, blah, blah, blah. So yesterday I was standing outside the meeting and I was bullshitting. I got the motorhome here and we're getting it cleaned up. We're getting ready to take off and go camping. You know, and the neighbor kid, he's been mowing the front lawn since all my surgeries and everything because our lawns are connected. And I'm out there, you know, struggling, and not struggling, but I'm out there washing the motorhome with the big brush and everything. He comes up and I'm on the back end of it. And he comes up and he taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "You want me to wash that?" And I want to see it on the camera, the Ring camera.
Your face?
Yes.
Probably got that face. Motherfucker, I can do this.
Yes. And I'm
not dead yet.
I literally turned around and looked at him. I want to see that look on my face. And I'm going to contact my neighbor and see if he can go back. I want to see that look on my face because I guarantee you that first look on my face was that. Get the fuck away from me, you little punk.
What was your second?
My second one was I just handed him it to him.
And that is spiritual growth.
Yes. So when I was telling that story to Scott yesterday, he goes, I've heard a story somewhere where God sent a boat to get somebody off of a roof during
and a helicopter, yeah.
And I go, God dang it, Scott. Yes.
Yeah, but that's growth.
Yes.
It didn't come out.
No.
Second thought, our first thought's usually, I mean, even after 15 years of sobriety, my first thought's usually wrong. It's my second thought's usually right, and it's the action that I take.
And we say that about.
But yet here I am. 0 years to probably 14. Right. I wouldn't say 14, maybe 13. When Taster's Choice, I'd have seen that. I wouldn't have said. I would have just made, just laughed and made a joke, in my mind. Right. But now, for some reason, I've got to do this. Drop the rock book. I'm going through why now do people's feelings not matter so much to me? Would I say something like that? I don't know that woman. I have no idea what she's walking with. She may be the greatest, the nicest doll in the world. I don't know. But yet here I was about to. Point out, well, then if you don't want people to comment on it, cover that shit up.
Cover it up.
But that's not my place either. Right. I'll start walking around with my shirt off. So what? Because hey, what are you gonna say?
I mean, you do have abs popping.
I got abs popping, baby. But again, I don't know. Just
listen. I would have had a hard time keeping my mouth shut too. I'm sorry.
Okay, but
I think that's old age.
But Bonnie says, you're just getting older, or it's all the cooking, the chemo they did to your brain that.
Chemo.
Okay, and we're just brushing it off.
Bonnie's justifying and rationalizing.
But it's starting to bother me.
Well, and then why? Let's do some work on that, brother. Like you said,
I'm thinking about doing it.
I think we do. Our filter does change as we get.
I've noticed that.
I think it does.
And I mean. Key point, Larry, he was coaching high school football for all of these years, but the kids started to change. It became a point where he couldn't relate to them, and they were completely different. It was different. The respect or lack of respect, all of those things. It was just harder. It was different.
It is different, and I was talking to my dentist. I got a lot of work done the last couple of weeks, just get some crowns on, and we were talking. And I've been there since he's been open, so I've been there since 2006. Long time, so long since I got sober. I wasn't sober when I was seeing him. I mean, he's about my age. And I was telling about.
Smell that good alcohol breath.
Yeah. And I was telling about leadership. And I was telling, over here in a position, we were talking about leadership and being a boss. I said, if you're a leader, if you're in a position of leadership, you want to be a shepherd, not a cowboy. And he looked at me, kind of raised his eyes and said, shepherds lead, cowboys drive.
Yep.
You don't want to need to be that.
Good analogy.
But when I was asking about, while we're sitting there waiting for the numbness to kick in so he can start drilling, I asked him to tell me some funny stories of what's going on and just about, dealing with kids. And he says, kids are different now because he's been doing it for 25 years. Right. Long time. I go, let me guess. They're not as tough as they were. He says, no, they're very entitled. They're not near as tough. Just plain, as they were, very emotional now. So you're right. People change and as we get older.
Honestly, when we were in Louisiana, we had the same conversation with our friend who we visited, who played Major League Baseball, whose son is also going to play in the majors. He's in Triple.
He's there now.
Anyways, but even he said how his son is in the league compared to what he was playing in the league, totally different.
Yeah. They're getting softer. Is it because? But here's the thing. But here's the thing. We're the fucking ones parenting these soft ones. What are we doing? Maybe it may not be our kids, but it's still their generation, and it's our generation parenting these. What are we doing wrong?
We ain't doing nothing. My kids have done grown. My kids turned out perfectly fucking
But
fine.
no, okay, now there is that age of accountability. By the time you get to a certain age, hey, you know right from wrong. You know what, I get that, but
I'm
still.
going to tell you one thing. You can ask both my daughters. They went sideways one little bit. They got a pop. I mean, sorry. Turn me into the cops, but my daughters turned out pretty damn good.
But imperfect people are going to raise imperfect people.
Well,
but that generation that we're raising, not necessarily our kids, my kids, I'm happy. However, they're weaker, softer. I should say softer. Not all of them, but it's noticeably. And we are getting Gen Xers. We're just hard.
I don't know. Like I said,
It was from drinking from the water hose.
Yeah, that's right.
Why.
When you could.
I'd still drink from it. I don't give a shit.
Not Oakdale water, buddy. But every third day, you can just smell the chlorine coming out of the shower. You don't even want to bathe in it.
Really?
Yes, bad.
All right. Well, I think we beat the hell out of this topic.
I do have to say, so last week on James, our audio was a little bit funny because I didn't expect that my part in that would have been on there. So it is faint, but obviously something I was very passionate about.
Yes.
It was probably the best part of the whole show.
Yeah.
No, is he dropping?
He'd be dropping tomorrow.
Yeah.
No,
Wednesday.
this week, Wednesday. Yeah. And yes.
And he's a heartbreaker, isn't he? Well, I mean, he's not now. That was Katie. You missed on the Saturday meeting because he was. What kept him away from our Monday night men's group was he didn't feel worthy to be with us. He felt less than, so he wasn't going to come. Like, who the fuck are we? A bunch of drunks.
No.
But however, but
He's going to
his
grow
oh, he is, but
so
he's
much in that group.
but he's recognized that his worth.
And I hope that it just continues to grow. And
It will.
Yeah. Katie's part.
But he had shared that to me. And he said, yes, he was just never felt worthy of anything. So you just live in that. And that's a hard thing to break. He's breaking it though, but that's what the steps in God are for. We can't.
I'm excited to get
character
him back.
flaws and character defects. We can't. If we could just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and change, I wouldn't need you, and I wouldn't have needed God. I could have just done it, but I need both.
And I'm excited to get him back.
yeah, his story's not finished.
No.
He's like it was like a Brandon story.
Yes,
Blossoming
thank you.
Right now,
Thank you, Rob.
He's
Rob-
really just starting to come into his own. I think he has to get that piano off of his back.
Right.
I think and I thought about that when I was.
It's a Brandon thing.
Yep,
Exactly.
When I was editing
Bring him
that,
back.
'cause we brought Brandon in at 60 days. Remember?
Or was it 6 months?
No, 90 days. We brought him in at. Sorry, yes, 6 months.
6 months.
Then we brought him back at 90 days, and it was
No, back a year. Was it a year?
6 months.
I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
We brought him back in a completely different person. And you know what?
But he was at the same threshold or the same, where James was at.
And guess who's sponsoring James?
Brandon is right now. Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect.
And why did God do that?
Because he's perfect.
Because Brandon needed it.
Yes.
As much as James did.
Yes.
They're good for each other.
Yes. Anything else, baby?
No,
I'm glad you did bring that up.
We know that the audio is not great, but I hadn't pulled that mic forward for me to, because I honestly
We
didn't
all
think
were
that,
shocked.
I know, but I didn't think that was going to be on there.
Well, when I was editing that, they just fit. I couldn't cut it. I did cut some out when there was some names and some stuff that was dropped. There is some stuff that was moved around in there, but for the most part, the first part before you got on the mic, there was just some gold in there. So, I mean, if you haven't listened to it, or if you went past it, go back and listen to it until Katie eventually pulls the mic forward. There's some good golden stuff in there because she's my wife.
Well, I like this, the root and fruit analogy. The leaves are a bad habits. The root is the character flaw. Unless the root is removed, the same behavior.
Continues.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Well, see, that's where we act as if, today let's act as if, let's not let that bad fruit show. Eventually, God will remove the root.
I had a hard time with that. I don't mean to spark the show back up as we're kind of winding down, but that may be a whole other episode, and that's
I struggle with that too because what I keep hearing is
act
as if. But what I keep hearing is fake it till you make it.
Yep.
And I do not agree with that. I think those are two different things. I really do.
I still have a hard time with it though because when I
Because
read
words
that,
matter.
Yes, thank you. In there, it puts as if, and the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that was fake it till you make it. And I'm like, God, but if you got, so when I'm reading it now, I have to be very, I gotta train my brain to not think that way. And I'll go back
Me
and
too.
I'll read it several times because it's throughout the book. It says it many
But
times.
I have to rephrase it in a way that suits my palate.
So
period.
What we're going to read tomorrow night, because I'm quite a ways ahead of you guys.
Of course he is. Because you know why? He wants to sound smart, Katie, when we go to it.
I'm an overachiever.
Well, Larry, he also said he was reading it on his Kindle, well, on his iPad through the Kindle app, which it's free, by the way. Drop the Rock is free on Kindle Unlimited if you have that. But he was confused as where they were because everybody was talking about pages on the actual page in the book. So he had to buy that paper.
I ended up buying the paper so I could be where you guys are at. Anyways,
I won't be there tomorrow.
Okay. Anyways,
I'm going to make a choice. I'm making a choice because I haven't for the last 2 weeks. I haven't hit the gym, and I haven't hit any training at jiu-jitsu. So I've got to coach the kids. So I got 1 week.
There's some gold in tomorrow night's reading.
I'll read it.
It's pretty damn good.
And you guys will still get the gold and everything. Everybody will still be blessed whether I'm there or not.
Pretty damn good.
Just be honest.
All right, baby, get us out of here.
Recovery Unfiltered podcast. If you'd like to reach out to us, please email us at recoveryunfilteredpodcast@gmail.com.